So, come back over here. And shall we, Zaf?
Sure, we shall. Which would you like, sir?
All right. All right, let's have a quick look at Armada del Sur's lineup here as we spawn into Islands of Ice here in day 2 of King of the Sea on North America. Starting with battleships, they've got an Ohio and a Slava. And we're looking at a Brisbane, Salem, and Moskva for cruisers. A 4 destroyer lineup, Zap. Harugamo, Vamp Deuce, Yu Yang, and Ragnar. So we're looking at a Radar Yang. No, that is not a Radar Yang. That is a Smoke Yang.
Interesting.
So they have the radar on the Brisbane, all 3 cruisers, of course, and then the Ragnar.
Yes.
What do we got? What do we got for YOLOK, my boy?
Real quick before we get to that, Harugumo running legendary mod, so he's the ultimate 420 blaze it all.
There you go.
And Slava, I just want to comment real quick. We saw SUR bring Slava. That was the game against AAA on Shatter.
Yes.
All right. So opposing them to the south on Islands of Ice, we've got ourselves a Conqueror, a St. Vincent for battleships. Henri. We haven't seen an Henri yet in this King of the Sea. Interesting.
We have not.
Legendary module Des Moines. We have a Marseille and a that's got to be a no, that's a legendary smoke 420 blaze it Minotaur of their own.
Looking at what am I looking at?
They went all in on the smoke.
Fascinating, Zap.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to just seeing these builds. And by the way, do you hear Rule Britannia in the background? I hear a little bit of that off this battleship lineup. Exactly.
Yeah.
Off this battleship lineup for sure.
So finishing up, we've got. I'm sorry.
I just said lots of HE potential there.
Oh yeah.
Lots of HE.
Finishing this up, we've got Ragnar Kleber standard build and a legendary torpedo build Gearing.
Now, one of the things that we talked about yesterday when we started seeing games on Islands of Ice is how the spawns are heavily biased towards AB now. The B cap, of course, still exactly in the dead center of the map. The A cap shifted to the farther to the west and smaller than it once was. But more importantly, the spawn point for both teams is right on the 4-5 line.
Yes.
So that makes getting to the C cap an extreme pain. And I'm curious, I'm noting, Zap, YOLOK, Bunyan, and the Minotaur here, they're going to play him like a destroyer going to be here early. I like this.
I don't.
So it's very spicy, but I hate the play, but it's very spicy. But I hate the play.
Yeah.
It's
I got
incredibly
nothing.
spicy.
I got nothing against. Yeah, I got nothing against this guy,
now.
but whew, this is. Oh no! And he turned left.
Yeah, I don't like the left turn. He turned left because the Slava already took a pot shot at him, but couldn't get him over the island.
Boy,
And he's not spotted now.
We're gonna have to keep a close eye on Bunyan here because I must say that is one of the spiciest opening positions that I've ever seen a Minotaur at.
That is very. Oh no. So here's I guess the only other time I've seen teams do this, right? Tears of the Desert. It wasn't uncommon to see teams shove a Minotaur into that middle island on Tears of the Desert. I'm wondering if this is the same kind of idea, but holy crap, what a risk you're taking. You're broadside to like most of the team right now. I bet Aguero is just salivating, waiting to get around this island, looking for a shot on Bunyan.
And
because he's lit somehow.
Yeah, the Ragnar got a quick peek on him shooting the AP, and now there's shells coming in from...
Yeah, shells coming in from God and everybody. He does take a quick Citadel there from somebody. The Ragnar, I think.
Oh, the Ragnar.
More Ragnar Citadels.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bunyan's bailing.
That's why
he's like, no, this isn't working.
Why I said I don't like this position early.
How was he lit, though? I still haven't figured out how he was lit.
The Ragnar had a very, very narrow
Slava.
gap right where he would sit.
Slava. Oh, my goodness.
Well,
the Slava shells. Here comes the Ohio shells.
He hasn't even smoked yet.
Out here with a heel.
He hasn't even smoked yet.
No, he hasn't.
Smoke, damn it.
Why would you take a smoke and not use it?
Smoke, you fools.
Like, there, finally.
Well, over here on the one line, the Yu Yang got dumped on by the Ragnar Kleber rush.
Yeah.
They got up there real quick. Boy, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here, fellas, and I am all for it.
So one thing to mention, Raptor, you were saying I don't know how that Minotaur spotted. You got to remember, if you're going to run the smoke module, you give up some of your concealment in order to do that.
Ah, okay. That explains it. I forgot, because that's a slot 5 thing, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. I literally have never played with the Minotaur legendary mod, so I could not begin to tell you. Now, this Kleber Ragnar push is incredibly aggressive, but I have to wonder if it's going to go south on these guys.
Well, they are detected on radar for a while.
Well, I mean, they're lit on radar, sure, but I mean, everybody they want to shoot at is more or less behind cover that nobody else on the team can really support them. They're very, very thought out.
Well, if they manage to get this Moskva kill really quickly, now it's going to obviously take the Vincent and Henri.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, if they do manage to get it quickly, they could roll up this flank fairly quick, but there goes the minnow.
Yeah,
there goes Bunyan.
Look at
I don't know what
SUR's,
that was.
look at SUR's Ohio position. Look how aggressive that is, because look how many of YOLOK are on the one line. 5 ships.
I was gonna say this is why I like this position. This is probably an audible call for them, and I love all of it because he has a brilliant flanking shot on this big push up the one line.
Look at Ohio shells coming in on Arden's Marseille, missing.
He's didn't lead enough. Marseille's too quick.
Got his engine boost on.
What an aggressive push this is, though.
And look at also the rotation for the Vampire Deuce. He's now probably going to get into A, and based off of the positions of YOLO, he's actually going to be able to get behind that island in E2 and just start capping it.
I think they brought the Vamp Deuce back to get the smoke, to get the Minotaur in the smoke, right? Because he could sit on the top end of this island with his Hydro and get the smoke off. I think that's what they brought him back for, and it worked. And now you're right, he's going to be able to pick up A, and man, if I'm the Ragnar and the Kleber, if I'm Dizank and Shadow Wolf, I don't want to take that fight because I'm not sure I'd win it.
Well, no, even if both of them opened up, one of them is guaranteed to die, and there's a
They are very close to getting Bizu though. Like he's low and burning or flooding, one of the two.
Yep. Radar going up by Shadow. Burning. So now they know it's the Vamp Deuce in A cap, but nobody can do anything about it.
And they know where to look for him.
And honestly, this Vamp Deuce could probably poke this corner. I mean, he's got the 2 forward turrets, and he's not in any threat from the Henri, the St. Vincent, or the Marseille. He could certainly do that.
You know what else is happening? Look at Aguero. He hasn't slowed down. They do finally bag the Moskva, but it's still a 140-point lead, 6.5 minutes in for Armada del Sur, as YOLOK hasn't scored any points yet, other than the kill on the Minotaur.
Yep, got some torps coming in on Arden's Marseille again.
Look at Aguero.
Oh, man, he's really thinking about creeping around the corner. That Ragnar now is getting a heal up, which would make it a little bit more difficult. But
yeah, but he's got now. But so here's the trick: the time to punish the Vampire was 60 seconds ago. He's got an Ohio with him now. You aren't going to be able to pull that off.
Here comes the Vampire. If he stays where he's at, well, it's going to need help from the Ohio salvo.
He got a little bit, but not enough.
No.
They're point making inky now. He's fine.
Yep. And now the Ragnar's range is betraying him because now he can't go dark.
Yeah, but there are the Kleber torps. No, the Vampires.
Those are gonna miss. Garrett, Vamp's got his Hydra up. They're gonna bag this Kleber too. They're gonna pick Shadow Wolf up. There it is.
There it is.
Wow. What a brilliant job of SUR to just respond to this heavy push.
Oh yeah.
And it was immediate
and just make it work. Yeah, like
it was immediate.
Whoever their caller was is absolutely on the ball. Well done.
Absolutely.
Now, we haven't spent a lot of time looking at C.
You haven't needed to.
Well, nobody's capped over here, but both, I mean, this is kind of the one place they still have kind of an organized team. It feels like the one-line push is kind of dead now.
Yeah.
And now I suspect they're trying to figure out, like, okay, now what do we do, right?
Absolutely.
You can't, go ahead.
St. Vincent's taking corpse. Sorry to interrupt.
It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
4.
Yep.
If you look at the setup, both teams created death snails at sea. They both thought, well, we'll just make that the kite flank or the hold flank, and we'll push on the other side. The difference was SUR did more of a kind of an even middle-ish push at A, B. YOLOK's like, we're just going to come all the way up the flank. And they got themselves flanked.
Yep.
And those Vampire torps look pretty juicy on that Vincent. I think he's going to get at least 1. Yeah, it's
he's down.
2. He's getting 2. That's out. 3, actually, in the end. Wow.
Slava does go down, though, to the St. Vincent shot.
Yeah, they're going to lose the Slava, but they're going to lose the Marseille as well. Like, the next thing that touches him will kill him. Yep.
Man, what a farm that Aguero's had, just rolling right up through the middle of the map.
Literally just drove right through the middle, and they didn't have anything in a position to do anything about it. They went so heavy to both flanks. No way to guard the middle of the map. That Minotaur was all they had, and once he was out, he was out.
Yeah, they just gave that Minotaur up on a silver platter. Here you go. What a gift.
I still like the play. I am curious. I almost want to go into Discord later and be like, okay, fellas, so what was the thought with that? Like, you shoved him up there, and he kind of got caught out, messing around behind islands and everything. And okay, fine, but like, what's your plan to support him? What's your plan to get him out of there if he gets in trouble?
There goes Diz.
Everything going wrong for YOLOK in this game, ladies and gentlemen. We're not even at the halfway mark, and it's a 720-point lead. YOLOK has never owned a cap and only they have plenty of kills, but they have a couple of kills, but it's not going to be enough.
I believe they did cap A. Can't remember though.
No, they never did.
They went all the way around. That's right.
They went all the way around A, and they contested B for a little while, but they slapped the minnow so hard he had to back out. They've never owned a C. So
Aguero does take some torpedoes, but whatever. He's dark.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
And there's one other thing I wanted to say about SUR, at least for the longtime viewers. They have been a pretty good clan on NA for quite some time now. Certainly, probably one of the best of the Latin American clans. So these guys have been through the fire, so to speak. And
100%.
Like Raptor said, the second that they realized the disposition, they made that very nice and immediate audible to get things into B and then move around, and I mean that clearly won them the game. This game was over in 6-7 minutes.
Yeah,
Slim
I gotta say
Kraken
something
going
else.
for it at the end here.
I gotta point something else out as well as the game kind of winds down here. They were able to do that because they still had at least one battleship hanging in mid, right? The Ohio had not heavily committed to one flank or the other just yet, and that allowed them to make that flex call. And I think sometimes in King of the Sea you don't see enough of that. You see a lot of teams, they'll split their battleships up, and okay, that's quote unquote the right way to do it. But I think sometimes there's value in having a mid battleship, and they certainly demonstrated that here because they were able to flex him through mid and punish the opposing team.
And that'll do it.
And that they did. Yep.
Wow.
You want to talk about
a convincing win from SUR here in Game 3.
Yeah.
And Raptor, I'm glad you said that because in my competitive days with PTA, typically Angelstone was our battleship player that we would have.
Yes.
It's kind of, I don't want to say wild card, but he was more of the guy that would kind of sit around the mid at the beginning and then
make a decision.
Make a decision, and as the map developed, our caller would then say, hey, man, you have a little bit of freedom here, or hey, we need you over here.
Right.
But yeah, and having that little bit of a flexible BB does help on certain maps, certain situations, certain strats. It's all relative. But yeah, that was the perfect call for the perfect time here, and I mean that pretty much won him the game.